Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Time for some laughs with George Burns and Gracie Allen, and an episode of the show going back to January 22nd, 1945. And yes, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society is involved again, and so is Gracie. It's going to be kind of weird, but then when Gracie's involved, aren't they always?
Swan, the new white floating soap that's pure as fine Castiles, brings you George Burns and Gracie Allen. With the Swan-Tet, the music of Felix Mills and yours truly, Harry Von Zell. And now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Well, it's morning in the Burns home, and George comes downstairs with a happy song on his lips, never dreaming that in the den, Gracie is holding a special meeting of that horror of all horrors, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society.
Give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in. Oh, Gracie. Maybe she's in the den. Oh, no. Fenced in. Well, I'll see about that. Gracie, come out here.
Coming, dear. Good morning, sweetheart.
Don't good morning me. You promised that the uplifters wouldn't meet here anymore. Now get those old hens out of here.
Old hens? Why, to look at them, you'd say they were girls in the 20s.
They may have been girls in the 20s, but this is the 40s. Now, get them out of here.
But, George, this is a special meeting. We've got to finish it.
What makes it so special?
Well, remember Tootsie Sagwell?
That homely man chaser? I'll say I do.
Well, hadn't you noticed that she's been away for quite a while?
Yeah. I thought she'd been drafted.
No. The girls of the club decided that she must get a husband, so we raised a fund. The Tootsie Sagwell While There's Life, There's Hope Fund.
What did you do with it?
Well, we sent Tootsie to a finishing school.
That won't help her any. Why, it looks like she'll never get a man. And when Tootsie walked by a bunch of men, there never was a wolf whistle.
Oh, there was, too. And now that she's been to a finishing school, I bet she can whistle without putting her fingers in her mouth.
It's ridiculous. Why waste your money on that dame?
Well, you don't understand, George. It's a business deal. Tootsie agreed that when she lands a rich husband, she'll pay us all back with interest.
Great idea. You each own a piece of Tootsie, huh?
Oh, no. We didn't subdivide her. The whole girl's going to get married.
I still say it won't work. Tootsie's got nothing.
Oh, George, how can you say that? Tootsie's a very smart girl. And very progressive. She's even ahead of the president.
Ahead of the president?
Sure. She's just starting. He's just starting after the 4Fs. Tootsie's been after them for years.
Look, break up the meeting.
Well, we can't, darling. We're waiting for Tootsie. Now, excuse me, I'll have to get back. Oh, now, come to order, girls. Come to order. Now, Tootsie will be here soon, and we should plan our campaign. Any suggestions, Blanche?
Well, now that Tootsie's been to finishing school, we should try to find a cultured man for her. Does anyone know an eligible writer or artist?
Well, there's Rudolph Crippen, the animal painter.
Rudolph Crippen. Where is his work exhibited?
At Ocean Park. He touches up the horses on the merry-go-round.
Let's have him touch up Tootsie.
Oh, Clara. Have you a suggestion, Olive?
No, but I just had an awful thought. Suppose Tootsie is so changed that she won't want a husband, and then we'd lose our investment. Oh, no, we wouldn't, Olive. Even if she felt that way, she's still a member of this club, sworn to obey the will of the majority.
Say, that gives me an idea. If we find a man, we should make him a member, too. Then he'll have to do anything we say, such as marrying Tootsie.
Oh, that's a marvelous idea. But this man isn't going to be easy to find. He's got to be single.
Not too young.
Not too bright.
Not too handsome.
Where can we find a man like that?
Excuse me for intruding. No one answered the front door. Can I come in?
Girls! Do you see what I see?
It's him! In the flesh!
Yeah, and so much of it.
Huh? What's going on here?
Oh, girls, I want you all to meet that unmarried, currently employed, nationally famous radio announcer, Harry Von Zell.
Oh. Well, Gracie, I wouldn't say nationally famous.
Oh, no?
No, I think world famous is more like it. Because just about everyone in the world has heard me say, Swan, the new white floating soap, is pure as fine Castiles. So mild, so gentle that...
Oh, what a glorious voice.
Oh, isn't it marvelous?
Oh, well, thank you. So mild, so gentle, so pure. Doctors recommend Swan for bathing babies. And the fact that Swan is baby mild makes it wonderful for your own complexion and great for your dishes or delicate fabrics.
Mr. Von Zell, how does it happen you've never gotten married?
Oh, I'm too shy. God, I couldn't face a bride unless I was blindfolded.
This is going to work out great.
What was that?
How would you like to join our club, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society?
Well, sounds like a good club. How do I join?
Well, just raise your right hand and take the oath of allegiance.
Can I raise my left hand, too?
Why?
Well, I just washed them with Swan, and they look so nice. You know, that's why you should use Swan for your dishes. You not only get loads of suds, but baby mild Swan helps keep your hands looking soft, smooth, and lovely. No kidding.
Well, just raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor as a woman...
On my honor as a woman... Say, I'm not a woman.
Oh, well, we'll change that to whatever you are. Now, here, read the oath.
I promise not to flirt with men or wear too much lipstick.
Oh, well, we'll take that one out for you.
Thanks. I promise to share my pre-war girdle with the other members.
Well, we'll take that out, too.
No, don't take it out. I'll be glad to share mine.
Oh, Harry, you're sweet. Now, make the last promise. That's the most important one.
Yeah. Lastly, I promise to do anything that a majority of the members decides I should do.
Oh, wonderful. Now you're a full-fledged member of the Uplift Society. Girls, let's give the club cheer. We always smile and laugh. We never, never frown. For the Uplift will never let us down. Wow!
Yeah. Well, so long, girls. Say, by the way, now that I'm a member of this club, what do I do?
Well, now, we thought that you might take over one of our investments, Sagwell Incorporated.
Sagwell Incorporated? Is that a business?
And we can't wait to give it to you.
From January 22nd, 1945, George Burns, Gracie Allen, Harry Von Zell's in a mess, and he doesn't even know it yet. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater. Well, you've heard me talk about Mike Lindell, the inventor of My Pillow, and how his pillow's given me a great night's sleep. He continues to roll out new offers on his products. His latest on the towel sets. Now, towels aren't something you think about. I never knew what I was missing till I tried the towels last year. You've all helped build Mike Pillow into the incredible company it is today, and trust in Mike Lindell has given you a better night's sleep. Mike's now changing the game with a 6-piece towel set, USA cotton, extremely absorbent, yet still providing that soft feel you look for in a towel. 2 bath, 2 hand towels, 2 washcloths for a limited time, $39.95 using our promo code USA. It retails for over $100. Remember, all My Pillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Radio Listener Square, use this promo code USA to get this price of $39.99 on the towels, or call 1-800-951-8175. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater. More of George Burns and Gracie Allen, January 22nd, 1945.
Well, girls, our worries are over. When Tootsie becomes Mrs. Harry Von Zell, we'll make a nice profit on our investment.
Gracie, are you positive that Mr. Von Zell has plenty of money?
Oh, sure he has. He's a radio announcer. Why, they make a fortune just selling things backwards.
I hope Mr. Von Zell doesn't want a glamour girl. What he wants makes no difference. Now that he's a club member, we give the orders.
That's right, Blanche. According to the bylaws, he has to do anything we tell him to do. I wonder if Van Johnson would like to join.
May I come in?
Why, Tootsie Sagwell!
How do you do, my dears? It's pretty decent to see you again.
Oh, Tootsie, lift your veil. Let's see what the finishing school did for you.
Very well. There.
Tootsie, I don't think they're quite finished.
Oh, really, they've done wonders. For instance, they taught me not to use makeup. It's more refined.
Yeah, and it's tidier, too. Now when you smile, you won't get lipstick on your ears.
What else did they teach you, Tootsie?
Oh, how to increase my appeal. I learned a lot by balancing a book on my head.
If the book was Forever Amber, you could have learned more by reading it. The thing that impresses me most, Tootsie, is the way they improved your speech.
Thank you.
Yeah, you sound so British. You know what? If you weren't wearing a dress, I'd swear you were C. Aubrey Smith.
Shall we tell her the news, Gracie?
Oh, sure. Tootsie, we have the most exciting news for you.
Oh, indeed. So few things excite me now that I've acquired culture. What is it, my dear?
Well, we found a man for you.
A man? Woo! You mean a person of the male gender?
Yes, of the opposite sex.
What is the gentleman's name?
Harry Von Zell.
And he's loaded, Tootsie.
Ooh, let's get him before he sobers up.
No, Blanche means that he has plenty of money. And remember, when you take him for better or for worse, we get our share of the better.
Oh, I'll keep my bargain, girls. You can think of me as a bond that pays off at face value.
Let's just think of you as a bond.
Oh, gee, I can hardly wait to become Mrs. What's his name again?
Von Zell.
Oh, cute. Can I try out my finishing school techniques on him?
Oh, what sort of techniques, Tootsie?
Oh, lots of them. For instance, they taught me the helpless technique. Men adore girls who can't do anything for themselves.
Oh. Well, let's not take any chances on it missing, Tootsie. Before you try it, I'd better see how it works out on George.
All right, Gracie.
I'll go in and be very helpless. George?
Yeah?
Scratch my nose.
Scratch your nose?
Yeah, it itches.
Why not scratch it yourself?
All right. Lift my hand.
What's wrong with you, Gracie?
I'm helpless. Bring me a chair.
It's a chair right in back of you.
Push me.
Oh, stop. If you want to sit down, sit down.
I see a speck of dust on the chair.
Well, brush it off.
That big heavy thing?
Look, I'm busy. You better run along.
Carry me out.
No.
Well, Tootsie, don't use that one. It's no good.
What happened, Gracie?
Well, they taught me another technique that might work. You pretend to be the vigorous outdoor girl who goes in for sports.
Oh. Well, wait. I better try that one, too. George.
Now what?
Want a raffle?
Huh?
Or maybe you'd rather shoot a few chukkers of tennis.
Chuckers of tennis?
Oh, I know. Have you got a hock?
A hock.
I'd like to play some hockey.
Gracie, do you feel all right?
Sure. Want to wrestle?
I don't want to wrestle.
Oh, afraid I'd beat you because I'm in the funk.
Sweetheart.
I'm a great athlete.
Do any running?
Sure.
Well, get on your mark and dash out of here.
Tootsie, that's no good either.
Oh, I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll just use my natural charm.
Gracie, in case you get another Oh, hello, Tootsie.
How do you do, George?
Back from finishing school, huh?
Rather. And I'll bet I don't look a bit like the old Tootsie.
No, you look like an older Tootsie. Gracie, did she have anything to do with the stuff you were pulling?
Well, yes, in a way. We were trying our techniques for her to use in capturing Harry Von Zell.
Harry Von Zell? So that's your game. Well, I'll put a stop to that. I'll tip him off.
Oh, gee, Gracie, now you spoil everything.
Well, now, don't you worry, Tootsie. He can't do a thing. We made Harry a club member.
And he took the oath. And if we vote that he marries you, he marries you.
Oh, how wonderful. You will all vote for me, won't you?
Oh, it'll be a landslide. You couldn't lose if you were a Republican.
Well, Gracie, I came as soon as you called. Where is she?
You mean Tootsie?
Yeah, this gorgeous exotic creature you described on the phone. Is she really terrific?
Tootsie has everything a man could ask for.
She has?
Yes. And you're going to have the honor of being the first to ask for it.
Well, what does she look like?
Well, have you seen Betty Grable's legs?
Yeah?
Well, Tootsie has just as many.
Well, gee, I can't wait, you know. Do you think if I play my cards right, I might get to first base?
Just shuffle and deal and you'll win the World Series.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Let's go in and meet her.
Oh, don't you come in yet. Tootsie's changing into a long dress.
Well, that'll hide her legs.
Well, we'll be ready in 2 minutes. You wait right here.
Dum dee dee dee, dum dee dee dee.
Harry,
Huh?
Harry, I've been looking all over for you.
Why?
Gracie is going to try to get you married to a broken-down dame named Tootsie Sagwell.
Broken down? Gracie says she's fresh out of finishing school. Cultured and refined, a girl I can look up to.
You'll have to look up to her. She's 6'3".
6'3"? What does she weigh?
92 pounds without her broomstick.
Wait a minute. Now, there must be some mistake. Look, George, if I marry someone, she's got to be irresistible, sensational, loaded with sex appeal. You know, my equal.
Look, Harry, those girls in the Uplift Society didn't pick you for your charm. They want what you've got in the bank.
What I've got in the bank? No. No, they can't have that. I've worked and struggled to save it. Don't let them take it, George. Don't let them take my Swan soap.
Harry.
They know that Swan's the new white floating soap that's pure as fine Castiles.
Harry.
They know that Swan is so pure, so mild and gentle, that it's a perfect baby soap. And gosh, if it's great for baby, it must be wonderful for my tub or shower, my hands and face.
Harry, calm down. They're not after your Swan soap. They're after your money.
Well, I don't... Money?
You know, cash, moolah, mazuma. That stuff the sponsor gives you every week.
Oh, you mean lever lettuce?
Correct.
Well, oh, say, you know, George, that's not all the sponsor gives. Did you know he'll give a free bar of pure mild Swan to every baby born during 1945? That's to help baby's tender skin get the proper care right from the beginning. Your grocer or your druggist has all the details.
Harry, listen to me. You're in a spot.
Well,
come in.
Good morning, Mr. Burns.
Oh, hello, Mr. Postman.
Hey, you look troubled.
I am. Trying to save Harry here from getting married.
A fate worse than death.
Oh, you don't believe in marriage, Mr. Postman?
Oh, personally, I think that every man should enjoy married life. But with a woman around, how can he enjoy it? Well, here's your mail, Mr. Burns. Just some bills.
Yeah, just some Hey, I've got it.
What?
A plan.
Huh?
And Mr. Postman, stick around. We'll need you. Now, look, Harry. You go in there and meet Tootsie. Pretend to be crazy about her. Agree to marry her, then leave everything to me.
Yeah, but George...
When I come in, just take your cue from me. It's your only chance.
Well, okay.
Oh, now, quiet, girls, quiet. Well, here he is. Tootsie, I'd like you to meet Harry Von Zell.
Oh, Mr. Von Zell, you're handsome, you're charming, you're wonderful.
Well, thank you. And you're Tootsie Sagwell.
Well, that's that. Now, when are you two getting married?
Oh, please, Gracie, there's no need to rush Mr. Von Zell like that. There should be a period of courtship first. 2 or even 3 hours.
Well, we'll do better than that. You can be married tomorrow, honeymoon on Wednesday, and Thursday morning we'll have a welcome home party at Harry's bank.
Excuse me, Harry. The postman wants to see you.
Yes, I have some bills for you, Mr. Von Zell.
Bills?
From your creditors.
Oh, yes, bills. Where are they?
The truck is parked outside.
Oh, dear, Harry Von Zell's got his stuff worked out. And by the way, you know who the postman is? Yeah, it's a Mel Blanc. January 22nd, 1945, George Burns and Gracie Allen. I'm Wyatt Cox. This is Classic Radio Theater, the conclusion next, right here on your favorite station.
What does it mean to be an American? Just what are our American values? Working hard to succeed, loving God, country, and family, being honest, strong, and compassionate.
Supporting our Constitution and recognizing that we are blessed to be living in America, the greatest country in the world.
Our Bill of Rights protects us, our freedoms of worship, speech, and privacy, our right to own firearms, our right to trial by jury.
Our right to be free, to live our own lives without some bureaucrat telling us what to do. Most countries don't have these rights.
Want to know more? It's all there in the book. Get your own free book, The U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Then read it again, and this time share it with your friends. Our great Constitution is the basis of all of our freedoms, our inalienable rights. Get your own copy at freeusbook.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. So, Gracie and the Beverly Hills Uplift Society has tried to get Harry Von Zell hooked up with Tootsie Sagwell. But now, Harry's trying to make sure they understand that he's not as rich as they think he is.
Goodness, it takes a truck to deliver his bills?
Yes, ma'am. And a trailer for the summonses.
Mr. Von Zell, are we to understand that you're broke?
Flat.
You mean that all that bulge in your hip pocket is just hip?
Yep.
Oh, go and never darken our powder room again.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Well, girls, we'll never take another man into our club.
Well, I'll have to be running too. My wife wants me to see her lawyer about a divorce.
Oh, you poor man. You must feel terrible.
Yes. Well, goodbye. Remember, keep smiling.
Oh, wait, Mr. Postman. Then there's a chance that you may soon be single?
Yes.
Have you any money, Mr. Postman?
Oh, I have a little nest egg.
Well, I know just the hen who can hatch it.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. Girls, all in favor say aye. Aye. Good. Mr. Postman, raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor as a woman.
On my honor as a woman.
Here we go again.
George and Gracie will return in just a second, and I want to ask you if you're throwing away any ration points. Because you are if you're not saving your used kitchen fat. Remember, you get 2 red ration points for every pound of waste fat you turn in. And that's big help under the new ration schedule. But most important, that waste fat is needed right now and needed desperately. So, how about it? Now, here are George and Gracie.
George, you'll be happy to know that the Uplifters are not going to meet here anymore.
Wonderful.
We're going to get a little club room of our own. That is, if our husbands will chip in for decorations.
Glad to. What sort of decorations do you want?
Oh, just a few fur coats to throw over the backs of the chairs.
Nice.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in to your Columbia station next Monday, same time. Remember George Burns and Gracie Allen on CBS every Monday night. So until next Monday, this is Harry Von Zell saying, well, I Swan, how about you?
January 22nd, 1945, George Burns and Gracie Allen here on Classic Radio Theater.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or if, like a lot of people, you just have a plan you're not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. It's a Christian healthcare sharing program. There are more than 400,000 members now, and they love it. In fact, MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to that of health insurance. And MediShare really is the gold standard when it comes to healthcare sharing. It's been around more than 25 years. Members have shared more than $4 billion of each other's medical bills. Plus, MediShare is for you. It has saved its members billions by advocating on their behalf. Best of all, the typical savings for a family is around $6,000 a year. So if you think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have much to offer, think again. MediShare has a 98% customer satisfaction rating, and you are invited to be part of it. Call now. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater, an episode of the serial Captain Midnight. This episode originally broadcast January 22nd, 1940.
The Skelly Oil Company presents Captain Midnight. Captain Midnight, brought to you 3 times each week by the Skelly Oil Company, Skelly Jobbers and Dealers. Skelly, you know, was the originator of tailor-made gasoline and motor oil. The famous Skelly Aeromax gasoline and Skelly Tagoline motor oil. Tailor-made for your weather. But first, tell me this. How many of you fellas and girls stopped at your Skelly service station this weekend to get your free picture of Captain Midnight and his 2 young friends, Chuck and Patsy? Well, if you haven't got yours yet, let me urge you to get one from your Skelly man the next time you're out in the family car. Because, look, these aren't any ordinary pictures, you know. You can't even buy pictures like this anywhere in the world. But you can get them free at your Skelly service station if you're a member of the 1940 Flight Patrol. And say, what's more, this picture is autographed to you by all 3 of these famous members of your own big radio club. Captain Midnight, Chuck Ramsey, and Patsy Donovan. They're all dressed in their flying suits and helmets in the picture, too. And they're standing right beside Captain Midnight's sleek monoplane. Boy, oh boy, will you be proud to show this swell picture to all your friends. You'll pin it up on the wall of your room, too, I'll bet, and you'll think more of it than almost any picture you ever own. But look, did you know this? You don't have to spend a single penny to get this marvelous picture of Captain Midnight and his 2 young friends. No, sir, not even a penny for a stamp. You don't need any seals or labels or box tops or anything like that either. All you do is show your Skelly man your Flight Patrol membership card. and he'll give you one of these swell pictures absolutely free right then and there. Just stop at your Skelly service station the next time you're out driving with Mother or Dad. Now, if you're not a member of the 1940 Flight Patrol, your Skelly man will tell you how to join. And that's free, too. Why, you even get a free Flight Patrol Medal of Membership that spins. But above all, you'll want your swell new picture of Captain Midnight and those two grand youngsters, Chuck Ramsey and Patsy Donovan. So remember, to get your own free copy of this marvelous picture, ask Mother or Dad to stop in at your Skelly service station the next time you're driving by. Show your Skelly man your Flight Patrol membership card and get your very own autographed picture of Captain Midnight and his friends absolutely free. And now to Captain Midnight. Unless medical attention is obtained for Bud Connely, who is stricken with fever, Connely is liable to die. He, his chief, Major Barry Steele, and Captain Midnight's party are far from civilization in Old Mexico. The clearing where Captain Midnight landed his plane is so small that a takeoff from it cannot be made except in one direction, and then after the wind shifts. It is now early afternoon, and Captain Midnight and Chuck Ramsey are standing near their plane on the edge of the field talking things over. Let's listen as Captain Midnight says.
No, Chuck, no. There hasn't been any change in the wind at all. If anything, it's stronger.
Oh, gosh. I was sure hoping that wind would shift. But now there doesn't seem to be any chance.
I'm afraid not. Sky is clear. Certainly looks as if conditions are going to stay as they are indefinitely.
From what Ma Donovan says, I guess Bud Connely must be pretty sick.
She didn't say in so many words, but I don't think she believes there's a chance for him if we can't get him out of here right away.
Oh, gee, isn't there something we can do? Something we hadn't thought of before?
I don't know what it'd be, Chuck. Of course, we might have overlooked something.
You radioed a code message about Ivan Shark's plane, didn't you?
Yes, Chuck, I did. And at the same time, I sent a message telling him about our situation here. And there's nothing more I could say.
They could drop provisions for us.
Sure. But that wouldn't help Bud Connely.
Well, they could drop medicine for him.
Yeah, they could do that, too. That isn't getting him to a hospital, and that's what he needs. It wouldn't do any good for anyone to land here. They'd be in just as bad a fix as we are, unable to fly out again.
Has Connely got a family?
Yes. He's got a wife and 4 children.
Gosh, Captain Midnight, that's terrible. We just can't let him die.
Well, listen, Chuck. I've thought of one thing, but well, it might take too much time.
What is it, Captain Midnight?
Now, look down the field here. You will probably be the one who wants to take off. Now, the plane will be turned around with its tail right between these trees. The takeoff will be straight ahead toward the north. You see that, don't you?
But I see those tall trees in the way.
Yes, you're right. And that's the plan I had in mind.
Well, gee, Captain Midnight, what about those trees?
Now, look. Take a careful look, Chuck. And just try to imagine what it would be like if some of those trees weren't there.
Why, if it weren't for 3 or 4 of those high trees, well, there'd be a lot more room for a takeoff.
Absolutely, Chuck. As a matter of fact, if just 3 of those trees were out of the way, it'd make all the difference in the world. In fact, I think that you, weighing less than I, could take off at Bud Connely, even downwind, with those trees gone.
I could do it. I'm sure I could. Oh, but how can we get rid of those 3 trees? Look how big they are.
Yes, that's the whole trouble, Chuck. All we've got is a very small hatchet. It would take days to chop through those big trunks.
And also, you wouldn't know which way they were going to fall.
Well, I don't think that'd make much difference. The wheels of the plane would be off the ground before you got that far. If those 3 trees were out of the way, we could get Connely out of here even if the wind doesn't change. But I'm afraid there's no way to get them down short of a tornado.
Do you suppose there's anything else we could take out of the plane to make it lighter?
No. We've done all we can. Anything else would weaken the structure.
Yes, I guess you're right. But gosh, Captain Midnight, what are we going to do anyway? I mean, when we do get out. We can't stay here forever, even if we are too late to save Connely.
Well, the first thing we've got to do, that is after we get across the border from here, is to go back to Senor Paredes' hacienda for Pinky Drake and Slim Pool. Then put Pablo in that flying school. And then...
Yes, but what about you? What's going to happen to you?
I've still got that big job in my hands, Chuck.
Ivan Shark?
Yes. I don't know what the pursuit of Shark might lead to. It may take me around the world again before I'm through.
But can't I come along? I've helped you before, though at least a little bit.
You've no idea how much you've helped me. And it isn't just the actual help you've given either. It's the company, the companionship that has meant more than anything else to me.
I'm glad to hear you say that. After all, I'm just a kid. I know I make a lot of mistakes, and I'm not, the sort of a companion an older person would be.
I've come to rely on you so much that I wouldn't quite know what to do without you.
You've been just like a father to me. To be truthful, you've been more than a father to me.
What do you mean, Chet?
Well, it's like this. I don't know whether you've ever noticed it or not, but lots of kids never have any fun with their fathers. They respect them too much. Oh, gosh, I'm getting sort of all mixed up.
No, Chuck, no. You mean that lots of kids respect their fathers so much that they're afraid to have any fun with them.
Well, that's it. That's it exactly. The kid looks up to his father so much that his father seems... Well, he seems too far away from him.
Yes, I know only too well what you're talking about. Now, Chuck, I've seen hundreds of fathers and sons like that. And I've always said that if I had a son of my own, he certainly wouldn't be like that at all.
You wouldn't be, and, well, you haven't been with me. You take me into your confidence. You let me know what you're thinking about, what you're trying to do. And I guess that lots of fathers don't do that.
No, Chuck, they don't. That's where they make a big mistake. They gradually grow apart, and they finally live in different worlds. The boy doesn't know anything about his father's problems, and the father doesn't know anything about his son's. Except when the boy does something wrong.
And then he gets punished.
Yes, and that tends to separate them farther than ever.
Maybe if the father and son were closer together, the son wouldn't do things that he'd have to be punished for.
You know, Chuck, you're getting to be quite a philosopher.
Well, anyway, I'm glad you and I aren't that way. You know what my problems are, and I know what yours are.
Yes, that brings me back to what started this discussion. It may be that much as we both would dislike it, it would be better if I would work alone for a while.
But why? Honestly, I don't see why.
Well, now listen. You want to be a pilot, don't you, Chuck?
Well, of course. I can fly some now. At least I can get a ship up and down.
Don't say you can. Out of plenty tight spots, too.
But merely being able to handle the controls of a ship doesn't make a pilot.
There, you're right. Merely being able to handle the controls of an airplane doesn't make a pilot. That's only a very small part of it. There are probably thousands of pilots who could take a big airliner up from the field, circle it, and then make a perfect landing. But do you suppose that same pilot could take that same airliner off, loaded with passengers, fly from one city to another 700 miles away through tough weather, where he had to fly by instruments and radio, and get his passengers there safely?
There are probably less than 1 out of 10 who could.
Less than 1 out of 10? The percentage is much smaller than that. To be a perfectly competent airline pilot, it takes the ability to fly. That's elementary. Then, beyond that, it takes absolute presence of mind, quick thinking, and above all, the thing that's known as character.
Character? I've heard that word a lot, and yet I don't think I know exactly what it means.
Stability. The thing which can be relied upon. Reliability.
I guess that's important in anything, not just airplane flying.
You're right, Chuck. I rather think that reliability is the most important characteristic in the world.
But to come back to what we were talking about, you spoke about a separation, and you asked me if I wanted to be a good pilot.
Well, now, look here, Chuck. Going around with me, you learn a certain amount, that's true. But you don't learn as much, as thoroughly, as you would if you were going through the regular routine of a flying school.
You mean you want me to go to a flying school?
I think it would be an excellent thing for you. Oh, I'd see you often. During part of the year, your vacations, we could be together. And I'd test you out to see how much you've learned. Then when you get through, I'll put the finishing touches on you.
Gee, and then what?
Well, I don't know. I've got to stay in the flying business, I know that. There are plenty of opportunities for new airlines, Chuck. Yes, I might start one. You could be one of my pilots. I'll give you an interest in the business, and then when you get good enough, you could be chief pilot.
Oh, gosh, wouldn't that be swell?
You bet. Yes, Chuck, that sounds pretty good. But then I guess we'd better quit daydreaming and get back to business here.
Oh, just one thing more.
Yeah?
Patsy Donovan can be one of our stewardesses.
Of course. It's a foregone conclusion. And we'll get Steve Donovan and make a pilot out of him, too. And, well, now, let's see. Are there any other members in the family?
Well, there's Pinky and Slim. What do we do with them?
Oh, yes, Pinky and Slim. Say, I know. We'll have them ride back and forth on the line to amuse the passengers with their squabbles.
They'd sure keep them amused, all right. Oh, and don't forget, there's Pablo. He's almost one of the family now.
Oh, sure. Well, we might have a branch going down here into Mexico. He could fly on that division.
Oh, look. Here comes our stewardess.
Well, what in the world have you two been doing all this time?
Well, to tell you the truth, Patsy, I think we've been doing a little daydreaming.
Oh, so that's it. What about the wind? Is it just as strong as ever?
Gosh, I'm afraid it is, Patsy.
Yes, it is. Oh, any change in Bud Connelly's condition?
No, he's just about the same.
Well, I'm going back to talk to Major Steele. You better stay here, Chuck, and let me know if that wind changes.
I'll stay too, then, because Ma doesn't need me for a while.
All right. You stay here with Chuck. I'll see you both after a while.
Tell me the truth, Patsy. Is Mr. Connely worse?
Yes, Chuck, I think he is. I can tell it by the way Ma acts.
Oh, gee, Patsy, this is terrible. Mr. Connely's going to die of that fever if we don't fly him out of here. Say, what are you looking at?
Quick, Chuck. Look over there.
What is it? What are you looking at? I don't see anything.
The top of that ridge on the right, Chuck. See? Floating up in the air. Why, it looks like smoke.
Smoke? Blazing beacons, Patsy. It is smoke. Maybe this will show us a way out. Maybe it'll mean help. Come on, let's investigate.
Well, can Patsy and Chuck be right? Is it really smoke they see at the top of the nearby ridge? Major Steele said he had explored the region and had found no sign of human habitation. What will Chuck and Patsy discover when they climb to the top of the ridge? Tune in to Captain Midnight. Say, have you got a big brother or a big sister that's away at college? Well, if so, you know how college students like to have pictures of their friends all over the walls of their rooms, don't you? Well, look, they're not the only ones that can have pictures of their friends up in their rooms. No, sir, because you can have a picture nobody else but members of the new 1940 Flight Patrol can even get hold of. A swell big picture of Captain Midnight standing in front of his speedy monoplane with Chuck Ramsey and Patsy Donovan. It's a picture that anybody would be proud to own. And listen, it's free to members of the 1940 Flight Patrol. So remember, to get your free picture, this is all you do. Just stop by your Skelly service station the next time you're out riding with Mother or Dad. Show your Skelly man your Flight Patrol membership card, and he'll give you your very own autographed picture of Captain Midnight and his friends absolutely free. Now, don't forget, stop at your Skelly service station for your free picture tonight. And don't forget to listen Wednesday, same time, same station, for further transcribed adventures of Captain Midnight. Brought to you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by the Skelly Oil Company, Skelly Jobbers and Dealers. Have Chuck and Patsy found a means of escape from the forest wilderness in Old Mexico so that Bud Connelly's life can still be saved? What does the smoke mean? Be sure to listen Wednesday. Until then, this is Don Gordon, your Skelly man, saying goodbye and happy landing!
From January 22nd, 1940, Captain Midnight on Classic Radio Theater.
We are the vocal parents of the local BTA. We're gathered here because we fear that 10 years from today, the younger generation of a growing population will look to us for leadership, will look at us and say, we have no alma maters. With or without swimming pools, we have no alma maters because we have no schools.
Our children are growing faster than our schools, and 10 years from today, conditions may become desperate unless we do something about it now. If you'd like to do something constructive about it now, write to Better Schools, 9 East 40th Street, New York 16, New York.
We can have the schools we need 10 years from today.
Thanks for tuning in. Please thank this radio station, support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you here each and every time we roll around. Also, visit my webpage if you've got a moment, classicradio.stream. You can contact me either directly through classicradio.stream, or we have a link there, our social media, our Facebook and Twitter. You can contact us there. You can also learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own, and you can hear our programs on demand, not only there, but also through iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, all sorts of places. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Have yourself a great day, won't you? Please, would you do me a favor? Thank this radio station, support their advertisers. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater on your favorite radio station.